welcome to O2 Live. My name is Michelle, and today we're doing an express stretch class for hips. So you won't need any props, just yourself. Although if you do find it to be a little uncomfortable to be on your knees, hands and knees, you might want to grab a little blanket or something just to place underneath. That's all. So my Spotify playlist is linked in the details of this video. If you'd like to open the link and press play now, we will get started in a child's pose. So let's come to hands and knees here. Your knees could come close together or wide apart. It's totally up to you. When you're stretching, I think it's good to just really lean into your own natural intuition. So I'll give you some ideas, but really just like follow your own flow here. So hands reach forehead forward, forehead taps down toward the mat. Hips are wide. Just sitting back toward the heels. Start to check in with your breath here just for a moment before we begin to move. From here, we'll inhale forward to a tabletop position and start to circle the hips around. So you'll bring your hips to the right heel, to the left, and then inhale forward. Exhaling back to the right, over to the left, inhale forward. A couple more in that direction, then we'll switch. And again, your circles might be big, they might be small. This is just sort of an idea of how you might move. You might find it feels better to move in a different way. This time we'll go the other direction, so starting to go counterclockwise. Inhale forward. Connecting your exhale to the sit back and your inhale to the pull back forward. One more time around. And we're back to a neutral position here. We'll step the right foot forward. And your hands can either tent outside or inside of the foot. It really depends what's more comfortable for you. But we're just going to start to rock forward and back. So hips will come forward and down. You should feel a stretch in the front of this left hip. And then as you exhale, sit back, you should feel a stretch in the back of the right leg. You might even flex your toes back toward your shin here. So inhale forward, lower the hips. As you exhale, sit back. Just going at your own pace, and again, find a range that works for you. Your range of motion might be a lot less than mine, like less than half. Good. Inhale forward. This time we're going to hold. So hold your lunge low. If you feel like you'd like to, you can widen that right foot and bring the hands even further inside the foot, maybe even come down to the forearms. Think about using your breath to release any tension that arises in reaction to that sensation. And we'll take one more big breath in here. As you exhale, start to sit the hips back for a half split. So your right heel will scoot forward a tiny bit, tent the fingertips, hips sit back. Good. Inhale forward. We're going to tuck the back toes and come to a wide leg position here. So you're in a wide leg forward fold. Couple breaths to settle here. And you're welcome to hang in this fold, or if you'd like to, halfway lift and we'll lunge side to side. So bend the right knee. Inhale center. Bend the left knee. Just taking a little side to side stretch here. One more time in each direction. Once you're even on both sides, we'll start to pivot toward the back of your mat, and we'll take that lunge in the other direction. So your right knee will tap down. Inhale forward, the hips lower. Exhale, sit the hips back. Flex the toes back, half split. Inhale forward. Exhale, split. Again, just going at your own pace, and really find your own range of motion here. It doesn't need to be big. Inhaling to your lunge. And exhaling back to split. This next time we'll inhale forward, either for a low lunge or your lizard pose if you'd like to bring your hands inside the foot. Lower the hips forward, start to tap into your breath. See how much relaxation you can find in the pose, even if this is pretty intense. We'll take one more breath in. As you exhale, start to sit back for your half split. Hips sit back and down. Flex the left toes back toward the shin. Good. This time, inhale forward. We're coming back to our wide leg stance here. Pivot toward the long edge of your mat. Release the head down. Start to turn toward the front of your mat again. We're going to step both feet forward and sit the hips down toward a squat. So coming wide, this is a place you could use a block or a little stool or anything you need to under your butt for a little more support. Once you're here, think about a little bit of cobra, so almost like we're opening the chest up. Right, a couple more breaths, lengthen the tailbone down, the crown of the head up. Big breath in. With your next exhale, lift the hips up, forward fold, and step the feet back to down dog. Take a moment here to pedal out. Just got one more pose here. We're going to do a little pigeon pose. So if you know pigeon pose doesn't work for your knee or your hip or anything like that, you can always come onto your back and do this as a figure 4 pose. To begin, we'll draw the right knee toward the right wrist and the heel toward the left hip. Lengthen your left leg behind you. Once you're here, you can stay upright. Right, this will give you a little more stretch in the front of your left hip as well as the outside of the right. Or you're welcome to fold forward, forearms to the floor, or maybe even the head onto a block. Find your breath into the pose. So as the tension arises, can you notice any kind of reaction that may or may not occur in your body, right? A tightness in the jaw or the neck or the hands, and use your breath to release that reaction. Take about 3 more breaths here. As you're ready, you can start to press up onto the hands again. We'll tuck the left toes, lift the left leg up, and return back to a down dog to set up for the second side. So maybe pedal out the feet a couple times, or if you want to, stretch the right leg long for a little shake. Go ahead. And then we'll bring the left knee forward. So left knee toward the left wrist, heel toward the right hip. No expectation that this side's going to feel anything like the other. Let that go now. Get the right leg lengthened behind you. And then again, if you'd like to start to come down onto forearms, find whatever variation feels right for you. If you find that this is the side you are more open on, do not push to your limit. Right? We're not symmetrical, but we don't want to become intentionally asymmetrical. Right? Too imbalanced. So think of your side where you're already more open as like a little break, right? A little less intensity. Not here for too long. Allow yourself to relax into the pose. And you just allow it. The last couple breaths here. Start to press up onto the hands. We'll tuck the right toes this time. Return to down dog. Take your last little pedal out here. We're going to finish in a child's pose, right where we started. So when you feel ready, you can start to come forward, lower the knees in any stance you like. Sit the hips back and just take that little pause.
Does it feel different to be back here now? Maybe, maybe not. You can start to sit your way up. Coming back to a seat here to close. Give yourself a moment with your hands at heart center, just over your chest. If you feel any kind of shift, remember it and just know that you're capable of creating that shift for yourself at any time. You really are. Just take one more big breath in. As you exhale, release the hands, blink the eyes open. Thank you all for checking out O2 Life.